Okay, welcome to episode 7 of the Anywayz podcast. I'm on a bit of a crunch time right now. It's 8:27, so I got 33 more minutes before, job time. What day is today? I think it's Tuesday? Thursday? Yeah, Tuesday. Well, I wish it was Thursday, because Thursday is weekends here. Yeah, but it's Tuesday. Today and another 2 days, and we're being chilling. I do feel a bit self-aware right now that I'm doing a podcast. So, a bit of context. This is the first time I record my podcast on my new computer. So that's why I think, because everything is fresh, everything is new. I've also just finished cable management a bit, but relatively speaking. I just put them to one side. All the cables are coming from one side, except my mouse, which I'm gonna have to figure out. I wonder if I can plug the mouse into the monitor. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not a huge tech savvy person. It's okay. I'll figure it out. Either way, yeah. So it feels a bit I feel a bit self-conscious about it, this episode, because yeah. New PC, I haven't used it for anything yet. Like, I just finished building it. Honestly, like yesterday I finished everything related to the PC, but today, with moving the cables to the side, like, now I can say that I'm actually 100% finished setting up this computer. I've downloaded the drivers, I've downloaded the applications I need. This is back on the PC, so yeah, that's the current situation now. The PC. That's probably going to be the main topic for today. Which, actually, before we get into that, I've probably spoken about this before. I'd like to continue keeping the podcast as general as possible. I may as well run a quick review for myself here. Not review for myself, as in, it's more like retrospection, just analyzing what I said before, and I guess I kind of do that every episode, don't I? Anyways, in this particular case, I think I mentioned in one of the episodes that I'd like to keep themeless, right? I don't want any specific themes. I want this to be just like my thoughts, my feelings, my words, essentially. And yes, I do talk about certain subjects more than others. For example, I talk a lot about Dota, but it's because that's like one of the main things in my life at the moment. As nerdy as it sounds. But it's also, there's a lot of subjects in general that I avoid, and yeah, I like to keep it that way. So there's probably going to be a pattern at some point. Things that are more important to me at a certain point will be different, and it will reflect onto the podcast, which is actually kind of part of the goal, right? So yeah, now that that's clarified, the computer. So this is the first time I build a computer. This is the first time I build my own PC. Before this one, I had a mini PC, actually, which was surprisingly good. Like, honestly, surprisingly good. It ran... Okay, well, I guess this is the part of the podcast. This is the part of the show. 7 episodes in. Oh yeah, I have spoken about this before. Yeah, well, it runs Fortnite, and Fortnite is very intense as a game. Like, not intense as a game, it's intense it's an intense game to run on a computer. So for it to run Fortnite, so okay, to be clear, I didn't run full 3D rendering. It was on I think at this point 65%, which isn't great. Like, you barely see anything, but it ran the game, Better than not running the game, right? Like, if those were the options. Anyways, it ran Fortnite, it runs Dota. I can play Dota while also being in Discord if I'm playing with my friends. So, it did its job. Okay, the main reason I got the mini PC was I was studying in the UK. I needed a computer, and I needed an option that's cost effective, something that I can use not just for homework, because then if I want to get a homework PC, I'll just get a Lenovo, the small ThinkPad, or whatever it's called, $200, $300, $400, and you have stuff for homework, but I didn't want the computer to be just for homework. But I also like to build my own PC in the UK. That was honestly impossible. It was too hard. Cost-wise, it wasn't effective, and I also didn't know how to build a PC. Now, to be fair, I had my friend there who probably built his own computer, so it just wasn't viable. It wasn't a viable option at the time. So I don't know. It's like mini computers are like laptops, but cheaper because they're not as portable as laptops, but they're very portable because they're their computer. But they're tiny, so you can like take them wherever you want, which is why I brought it with me here to Saudi Arabia from the UK. So yeah, and like I was actually surprised how good like it ran. I was playing for a while Midnight Suns, you know, so it's a single player game, so it focuses a lot on how it was. I used to play it on full settings. I think eventually I did have to reduce the settings, but it ran Midnight Suns, ran Dota 2, it ran whatchamacallit, Fortnite, you know, like it ran Fallout 4 for a while as well. Actually, Darksiders 2, it ran it. Darksiders 3, but I just didn't play the game. Ooh, Hades is a good game. Okay, now I'm just going through my Steam library at this point. Hades is a good game, man. I like Hades. Like, we had a phase, my friends and I on Discord, we had a phase where we were just like taking turns, like, now it's my turn, I stream, and I play Hades. And then I try to make it as deep into the deep run as much as I can. And then my friend's turn, and then my other friend's turn. It was great. I really enjoyed that phase, actually. I'd love to play Hades again. I'd love to have this want to play Hades again. You know what I mean? It's like if I play it now, I just don't really care as much. But yeah, back then the phase, man, what a good phase, actually. If you haven't played it, it's a roguelike. I don't want to give you any spoilers. The story is amazing. The extremely high. I think it's the best roguelike, honestly. It's the one that has the most effort put into it, specifically, and it's that you really enjoy about it. It doesn't sound like a huge pull, right? Is the gameplay good? Yes, the gameplay is good, but you know, good gameplay comes a dime a dozen at this point. So like every game has good gameplay, but not everything has as good refinement as this. Specifically roguelikes, right? Like you can make a roguelike in Minecraft mods at this point. I don't play Minecraft, but I'm assuming, you know, you can make like roguelikes everywhere. I know there's Pokemon roguelikes, so like I wouldn't be surprised if it's readily available, the game mode, right? But it's not as well. Nothing is as well done as Hades is. Specifically for as small a studio as they are. I think they're not a huge studio. I think they have like 1 or 2 big hits before Hades, and then they just decided, you know what, we're gonna make one of the best. Well, oh yeah, sure, top 5 roguelikes of all time, and honestly, it is. Can't argue with that. So yeah, great game, highly recommend. Hades 2 is coming out. I think it's in. When I started playing Hades 2, it was alpha version. Let me check if it's still store page. Release date 6 May 2024. Okay, well, it was an alpha version. Oh, it is still actually early access. Alright. Yeah, well, Hades 2 is also good. I just didn't finish it because I was like, I kinda did. I think I finished whatever they made so far. You know what I mean? Like, the game isn't over yet. They're still developing it because that's kind of the point of alpha and beta testing. And I think because I played Hades 1, I was granted the ability to buy Hades 2 preemptively. And so I did, and it was a good game. I think I finished as much as the game is available, but then I was like, it's good, but it's not as good as it's not as good yet as the first one, because not everything had textures. Not everything had, you know, it was unfinished, which, you know, that's kind of the point. But it was a step in the right direction, and I like it. So I recommend this studio. What's it called? Buy it while it's hot, you know, because greed corrupts eventually. So yeah, before corruption hits that studio. Yeah, enjoy their products. Oh yeah, this isn't sponsored. Should I say that? I don't care. Everyone knows this is not sponsored. I'm just giving my opinion. I guess this counts as a review. Can I get copy striked for this? Do I care? I don't care. Okay. Yeah, so the PC. Holy man, building a PC is... Alright. A lot of people always say there's no PC like a PC you built, which is probably true. Like, I think this is a fact. Like, you get to choose the parts individually, and you remove the cost of assembling. You remove the assembly cost. You become the assembly cost. Therefore, there's no way around it. You're gonna reduce the cost of a computer by $100 at least, if you're building it yourself every time, or the quality of it is gonna increase for that same price. So if you're buying a pre-made PC for $800, or you're building one for $800, the 800 build is gonna almost always be higher quality, unless the pre-built was like you got some I don't know, GPUs on sale or some shit, and then it would reduce the cost. But that's like 1 in a million, right? Or if it was pre-used, but then you're not really comparing the same item. So although I agree with the fact that building your own PC is always better, here's the thing that no one ever mentions: building your own computer isn't for everyone. I think that's a fact. No, to me that's a fact. It's not for everyone, and I'm one of those people to whom building a PC not only is boring and not enjoyable, it's also hard for me to build my own PC. There's a lot of small, delicate parts. You need screwdrivers. You need, it's a bunch of stuff that I don't like. I told my friends, guys, listen, I don't even like Legos. There's a reason for that. Maybe I'll circle back to that eventually. I don't even like Legos. Do you think I'm gonna bear the responsibility of building a computer? I don't think it's fair. This reminds me, I need to probably update my Bluetooth drivers. I'll do that later, it's fine. Yeah, it was, by the way, to be clear, it was hard. It took me... My friend said it should take a couple of hours, which, fair enough, it probably would. For someone who's got basic, I don't know, engineering capabilities. I don't know what this is called. Basic building skills? I don't know. The basic capabilities, the basic skills required for this kind of maneuver, right? So it's probably not time consuming, it's probably not too much effort involved, but for me, I genuinely don't like when I have to use tools to fix something. That's not something, number one, it's not interesting to me. Number two, I'm not good at it either. Number three, listen man, I have large fingers. If I have to put small nozzles onto the small spiky thingies, I don't know what they are. I don't even know the names of them, right? It took me way longer than it would anyone else probably. I'm the if there's an average, if there's a bell curve, I'm on the lower end of the bell curve of capabilities of doing these tasks. And I knew that coming into it. It's like I understand the PC is gonna be better if I build it, but I will pay extra for someone to build it for me next time. And this time I did it myself because for the experience, honestly. See, now I know that I don't like it, even though I had my suspicions beforehand, and I probably was gonna quit a couple of times, but we persevered. Thank you, bygone. Wouldn't have done this without you. Couldn't have done this without you. Now, also wouldn't have started this without you, but part for the course. It's fine. I'm thankful for the experience either way. Experience is good. Information is valuable, and this information is very valuable. But yeah, that's why I'm talking about it now. It's my advice to you, if you want to get a computer, weigh your options. Weigh your options well. Yes, it is better to build your own PC, but are you able to build your own PC? That's the main question. That's the second question. It's what is your goal? Because it is gonna cost you less, for sure. I'll tell you that. If your goal is cost efficiency, building your own PC is probably the best cost-efficient way to get a personal computer. The other options I was looking at was, so yeah, for me it was a bit harder actually, because I'm probably not staying in this country for much longer than a few months, right? So I need the parts to be mobile. So buying a pre-made PC wasn't gonna cut it, because I don't know the parts, and therefore if I take it apart, I don't know what I take with me, I don't know what I don't take with me. On the other hand, if I'm going abroad and I want to take my PC with me, like one of the best options would have been getting a mini PC, but like how much better of an upgrade is that from the one I already have? Well, it would be an upgrade, but it's the whole thing. If I'm putting that amount of money, I may as well just put that money onto stuff I can take with me, like for example my GPU, my motherboard, stuff like that. I could like put them together in their boxes again, tidy it up, and take them with me, and then I'll just have someone build my PC again once I'm abroad again. Technically, I'm already abroad. Anyways, yeah. So that was why we decided to go with this format. My alternatives were a gaming laptop, but I'm not keen on laptops. I don't like laptops actually. I have a history with laptops and burning. Also, one of them I dropped coffee on. That's completely my fault though. Yeah. It wasn't even my laptop, so it's fine. It's not fine, that just makes it worse, no? So yeah, if I'm taking a lot of pauses this episode, it's because I'm drinking a lot of water. That happens when you drink coffee, for me, actually. I don't know how coffee works for you, but I get very thirsty when I drink coffee. And I did, so yeah. It was actually good coffee. Dude, okay, McCafe is surprisingly good, honestly. Like every time I get something from McCafe, I'm met with nothing but a positive surprise. And it is also reasonably priced, I think. 16 rials, local currency, for a white mocha is actually pretty decent, I think. I don't know. I don't actually know, but it does deliver to home. And the cheese croissants are actually so good. Like unironically, the cheese croissant from McDonald's is good, and they're pretty good together, the white mocha and the croissant. So yeah, good option for breakfast. Yeah, and it's McDonald's, it's readily available everywhere. I don't know if it's just good here or it's good in general. Like if I tried this combo again in, let's say, I don't know, the UK or France or some shit, would it also be as good? I don't know. I'd never had McCafe outside of here because, well, here I was kind of forced to. I didn't want to, I didn't want to buy McDonald's products because it's McDonald's. It feels cheap, and quality is like the classic. McDonald's and quality are like the different directions, different parts of the spectrum. It's not known for its quality, but honestly, I think, like at this point, for what you're paying, McDonald's is decent enough. I feel like I've spoken about this before. Either way, the coffee's pretty decent, pretty good. I'm not a huge coffee drinker, but this is good coffee, good enough, let's say. But yeah. Okay, so I haven't planned this far ahead. Actually, I rarely plan ahead for these podcasts. I think that's kind of the fun part of it. I don't know what I'm going to say next. I don't know what I said before as well. So that's why I could get to repeat subjects like the coffee and some other stuff. That was something I mentioned in the beginning. Yeah, there's no script. So yeah. All of this is organic. Organic. There we go. So, what makes an organic? Let's see. What are organic? What is an organic fruit? Are they safer, more nutritious? Mayo Clinic. Understand the difference between organic foods and traditional foods when it comes to safe, healthy, budget-friendly foods. Our grocery shopper's dream. Yeah. What is organic? Under specific conditions or products made with those foods. Label more about how an item was farmed than about the food itself. Right. Getting this just amount of fruits and vegetables. Yeah. Okay, so organic food exposes consumers to less pesticide residue. Okay, fair enough. So I guess it is better. But is it that much better where you have to like compromise your wallet for it? I don't know. I don't actually know how much more expensive it is. But it's a thing where it's like, it's interesting, you know? Like you hear that, okay, when we were younger, organic food was the whole thing. It was the original woke. For me, I don't know, I feel like wokeness, you know, woke culture. It may have been older than what I'm imagining, but to me, organic food was the precursor to vegan, which was the precursor to everything else related to like woke culture. It was how it became something niche. It was how something went from something niche to something very broad public, you know. I think that's what happened. I'm not sure. I don't really watch news, but I don't think this is news. I think this is more culture related. So you feel. I think that's the point, right? I think you can feel shifts in culture. I don't think you necessarily analyze it, or maybe you do. I don't know. I'm not a university researcher or whatever. But I don't know if you can research it, but I think you can. I guess you can technically. But then it's history, isn't it? You're just analyzing history. Well, technically, if you think about it, everything in life is either analyzing a history or predicting mystery, the future. I need to check something. Okay, so yeah, given that I've moved to the new computer, I just logged into this website, which is where I'm recording the episode. I wanted to make sure, I wanted to make sure that the episodes I've already made aren't gone. So it's saved on the cloud, which is good. Another thing, I was thinking just now that, man, I'm really running out of things to talk about in this episode. Maybe it feels a bit forced. Maybe not enough time has passed between my previous episode, which is a few days ago actually. Episode 6. Oh yeah, that episode was fucking dark. Sorry about that, guys. Well, I say guys. Could be just one person listening, could be no one. I don't actually know. And I will not know for a while. Yeah. So I was thinking like, oh man, I'm running out of things to say. Like, what if this is a bad idea? You know, I'm starting to panic a bit. But at the same time, I am actually panicking. You know the thing you do when you're anxious? With your leg? You're like, tuck, 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 with your leg, you know, like tapping it up and down. Anyways. Tapping with your leg, yeah. So I am anxious. So I'm like, subconsciously I'm like, what if this is a bad idea? What if I should stop? I should probably stop forever and do nothing anymore with life. Yeah, mini panic. It does feel good to talk about it though. And that's the thing, I was also thinking like, hey, you know, not every episode needs to be good. I could just record something and if I don't like it, I'll just not post it. I think that's the thing. That's the cool part about failure, is that it's not permanent, which is what I was led to believe when I was younger. That's how I was raised, you know. There's no room for failure. But in reality, without failure, you are nothing. Yeah. And this could be my failure in this particular instance. But then, you know, meta-analyzing failure. That's decent. That's a decent topic, right? It is. It's a pretty decent topic. So yeah. So I did panic a bit, and it took me down a little bit of a rabbit hole. Rabbit hole? No, this hole is not rabbit. Trust me. It's only rabbity. Fuck! I was gonna make the sound of a rabbit, but what sound do rabbits even make? I don't know. We used to have rabbits when I was very little. I remember there was one rabbit whose back was, yeah, I don't know why, yeah, no reason to talk about this, but he didn't have a back, skin. I think one of its siblings was very aggressive, which is why. But yeah, we were like very extra nice to that rabbit. We gave it more food and more water, all the kids. I also remember having chicks. I wonder what happened. Did we eat those chicken? I don't know. Probably not. Okay, well, we did have ducks that we ate, and dude, fresh duck. Oh. Okay. There are three. I don't like to use the word foods, but in this particular instance, it is the correct word. There are three foods that stand out in my mind, in my memory, as like golden foods, right? Number one, I'll go through them and chronologically. Two of them were in France, believe it or not, which is not surprising. France is known for good food culture as well. So yeah, first point, the first thing that I ate that it's still stuck in my head now. Salmon. So we were staying in Alsace-Lorraine, near Strasbourg, near Frankfurt, borders with Germany, whole history thing. It was amazing, actually. I loved that area. We were staying in Alsace, in a castle, or a mansion, I don't know. No, it was a castle, I guess. So, who's we? I was going with the school. I was in lycée, here in Saudi Arabia. I'm talking like 15 years ago at least, yeah. So we went to Alsace, and we had a chef for our school, for our trip. We were like at least 40 people there, if you include the staff, like teachers and stuff. It was a great experience. I really enjoyed going to France, particularly that area. That area is super cultural, very ancient, lots of history there. Alsace was contested by both France and Germany, and then they had this whole thing where in the world wars, after the referendum and whatever, in the end it was given back to France, but then it became like a sort of mix of cultures, it's basically both France and Germany at the same time. It's great. And it's borders to Germany as well, so yeah, lots of action there, friction. It shows. You can tell. They're very low key. They're very chill. It's basically a town, but it's also a important city, which is nice. I guess the city is Strasbourg, nearby. It's very nice as well. Remember the zoo there was nice. So yeah, the first thing was the salmon she prepared. I don't know why. It's just like the salmon was magical. Honestly, it tasted like it's like steak but double. I don't know how to explain that. I genuinely don't know. Like it's like if you're eating a steak and it's just double that. Every piece of salmon. It was like large chunks of salmon as well. It wasn't like sliced or anything. It was just like a large chunk of salmon that was cooked perfectly, I think. I don't know. Maybe that chef was a Michelin star chef. I don't know. We had no idea at the time as well. Who's to say? I remember that was one of the best things I ever tried, and I don't think I've ever had salmon as good as that, or probably any protein as good as that, until item number 3 on this list. Now, item number 2 on this list, also in France, same period of time, Île Flottante. That, I would say, is probably my favorite dessert. The problem is, I haven't had it as good as when I had it in France during that trip. Something about the French making their own food very good. Maybe I'll go back to Alsace to try to find where I had that Île Flottante. So Île Flottante is a dessert. It's floating island. That's what it means. Floating island. No, floating island dessert. Île Flottante, floating island. Yeah, that's what it's called. This dessert consisting of soft meringue floating on crème anglaise. There you go. It's very simple, but so good. It was magical at the time. And now the third thing was, which is how I got to this point, which is my family kept animals. Basically, they had a couple of farms, or farming areas, let's say. Some farms were for orchards, and we had vineyards, we have olive trees, we have a bunch of stuff, right? And then the other part of the farms, I'm talking like countryside. We have a home in the city, and then we have, which is where we usually are, but we also have the countryside house, and we have a couple of workers there, farmers for us, So we kept also some animals, like different types of animals throughout the years. We had bunnies when we were kids, then we had chicken, and we had pheasants, and then we had ducks. And which is where I come back to the point I made earlier, which is, oh my god, ducks are so good, especially when fresh. So eventually, after raising the ducks, I think, they were mature enough to, let's say, be put in a freezer, right? And in the freezer they went. And then that was the best Christmas meal I've had my entire life. Oh my god, man. Eating a duck that used to love and care for you, that's a bit mean. Yeah, eating ducks that are freshly, harvested, so good. Ducks, it was just so fresh. It was like, it's such juicy meat, Oh, the duck meat. Oh, that doesn't make it any better. Whatever. Unlucky, I guess. Yeah, the duck was so good. Like, I highly recommend. Like, duck with, I think it was gravy and some rice. It was just essentially like stuffing. Christmas food, essentially. And it's like just, for like 2 or 3 months, we were eating nothing but gold. And like, when you're eating a lot of the same thing over and over again, you think you get used to it and you don't like it anymore. No, I still love it. I need duck again. Proper duck. Proper duckling junior. Ooh, Ryan Duckling. Nice. So yeah. Also, I noticed that even though I panicked a bit in the middle of this podcast, of this episode, I brought it back, and this is actually like a satisfactory episode for me. Actually, like I'm satisfied with where I am now. So yeah, never give up on your dreams, kids, and adults. Actually, adults get to dream sometimes too. If you're an adult and you're hearing this, just try. Actually, since we're here, and I got a couple more minutes, there's that thing where people tell you, just do it, man, just do what you want to do. It's like, yeah, it's true, that is the correct advice, right? But it's not always the correct timing. It's not because it's not the right time, it's always the right time, it's never too late, but it's not the correct timing. In the sense of, you're just overwhelmed with so much shit right now that the last thing you need is even more stress from something optional, such as making a podcast or starting an Instagram channel or TikTok dance. I don't know, whatever floats your boat as an individual. Just saying. Yes, the correct answer is just do it, but you also need to feel ready and feel convinced about doing it. That is another thing that I think is not really necessarily spoken about as much, because it's not nearly as motivational as saying, man, just do it. Like, yeah, okay, right, just do it. That's the, objectively, that's what you should be doing. You should be just doing it, but can you do it? Yes, you can, but do you want to? And that is the point that no one mentions. Do you want to do it? The correct answer is yes, but do you want to do it now, right now, right now? You probably should, but can you? No, because you want to, but you just feel like it's overwhelming. That's it. It's just overwhelming. It's like, for example, real life example, this is actually, like, this is true. This is what's happening to me right now. I want to go to the gym. I love going to the gym. I love having a fit body. I love, it's not really about how I look. It's mostly about, I like having that in my life. The option of working out, physical activity from, since I'm not building computers most of the time, I'm gonna be working out somehow. I used to play basketball and then football before that, but now, I'm a bit old. If I play basketball one more time, I'll probably tear my Achilles, which is not a great option. So a good, middle ground for me where I'm satisfied and gives me decent results for my health is a gym. And obviously there's the byproduct of, being fit, which is, as I said, not the main goal. Now, do I go to the gym? No. I haven't gone in a year. Okay, that's not true. I went a couple of months ago. But you know what I mean. I haven't gone consistently in a long time. I know I will eventually, but holy, until I get to that eventually. A lot of hurdles, man. Way too many hurdles. Yes, just do it. But if you're doing it and you can't keep it up, it's a fact, you can't keep it up. For whatever reason, maybe it's work, maybe you don't have the time, maybe you don't have the mental space, maybe you don't have the, Everyone is very strong, but sometimes you aren't as strong as you need to be, which is fine. Like, as long as you know that this is just a phase and you're gonna get through it, and eventually you're gonna be back to where you're comfortable enough, because there's this whole concept of comfort zones. See, that's the thing though. I think it's a question of you're living too much outside your comfort zone. You need to create some comfort for yourself as well. And I think that's what I'm living through right now. That's why I don't go to the gym, because I love going to the gym, but it's also there's so much stress around my life right now that going to the gym at this point would just add stress, and I don't need more stress. That is it. It's all about stress management. That's what I realize now, is that life every day is just stress management. How much can you reduce the pain of existence until eventually you're in a place where pain is part of your existence and you accept it. I don't think I'm there yet, but I'm building towards it, I hope. Have a nice day.